For a century, the image was clear: a corner office, an iron will, and a straight line of command. It was a title earned through decades of climbing a rigid, predictable ladder. But that ladder is gone. The corner office is now a Slack channel, and the very nature of power is being rewritten. Time marches on, and with each decade, a new generation rises to the pinnacle. First, the baby boomers built the modern corporation. Then Gen X refined it. Now the torch has been passed. Millennials aren't just knocking on the door of the C-suite. They've kicked it down, redesigned the interior, and are now running the meeting. By 2025, they will make up the overwhelming majority of the global workforce. They are the new establishment. And right behind them, a generation forged in digital disruption and social change is entering the workforce, not just with new skills, but with a fundamentally different definition of success. Will this transition completely reshape the face of global leadership? And are we ready for a new era where empathy is a metric, purpose is a strategy, and authenticity is the ultimate currency? What will the future of leadership truly look like? And will Gen Z be a completely different kind of CEO? One, the present millennials at the pinnacle of power. For years, they were the subject of endless debate, the entitled job-hopping generation. But while the world was busy analyzing their spending habits, millennials were quietly taking over. Today, over 62% of millennials have direct reports. The average age they first became a manager was just 30. They aren't the future of management anymore. They are management, and they are leading differently. Having entered a workforce defined by the 2008 financial crisis and the gig economy, they learned a crucial lesson: loyalty to a company is conditional. So, as leaders, they are building organizations where people want to stay. Teams led by millennial managers show a 28% higher retention rate over 3 years. How? By rejecting the old command and control playbook. They champion flatter hierarchies, collaborative cultures, and radical transparency. Listen to the philosophy of a successful millennial tech CEO. My job isn't to command, it's to create the conditions for my team's success. That means radical transparency, a relentless focus on our mission, and trusting my people to deliver wherever they work best. If they have the tools, the trust, and the purpose, the results take care of themselves. This isn't just a feel-good mantra, it's a strategic response to a new reality. A reality where 92% of their generation considers a sense of purpose critical to job satisfaction. For millennial leaders, culture isn't a poster on the wall, it's their most important product. 2. Gen Z's ascent to leadership. If millennials rewrote the rules of management, Gen Z is questioning the game itself. While most are just starting their careers, they are already displaying leadership in unconventional ways through launching startups from their dorm rooms, organizing global social movements, and building massive online communities. They are the first true digital natives, and they bring a unique set of expectations to the workplace. They are more global, more socially conscious, and more entrepreneurial than any generation before them. But here's the paradox. Only 6% of Gen Z say their primary career goal is to reach a leadership position. This isn't a lack of ambition, it's a rejection of a broken model. They've seen the burnout and stress associated with traditional middle management and are consciously unbossing, choosing to focus on skill development and purposeful work over climbing a ladder they see as leading nowhere. As one Gen Z founder puts it, "We didn't build a company, we built a community around a problem we cared about. Profit is the result of our impact, not the reason for it. Everyone here has a voice, and my role is to make sure those voices are heard and harmonized." Gen Z won't accept top-down management. They demand leaders who are coaches, not commanders. For them, diversity, equity, and inclusion aren't corporate initiatives. They're the moral baseline for doing business. If you can't demonstrate genuine ethical behavior and a commitment to their well-being, they will simply go somewhere that does. 3. The future leadership style, the new blueprint. So what happens when you combine the millennial drive for purpose-driven culture with Gen Z's demand for authenticity and impact? A new unified leadership blueprint emerges. It's not about generation, but about mindset, and it's built on 6 key pillars. 1. Servant leadership. This is the foundational shift. Coined by Robert Greenleaf, it's a philosophy that flips the traditional pyramid upside down. The leader's primary job is to serve the team, to remove obstacles, provide resources, and foster their growth. A study found that the top traits Gen Z desires in a leader: friendly, humble, supportive, understanding, caring, are the very definition of a servant leader. 2, flexibility and adaptability. The debate is over. Hybrid and remote work are here to stay. The new leaders focus on results, not rigid hours. They build agile cultures that can pivot quickly, understanding that in a world of constant disruption, adaptability is survival. 3, transparency and authenticity. These generations can spot corporate spin from a mile away. They demand leaders who operate with what Columbia University researchers call an open access model of communication, not a need-to-know one. This means being honest about challenges, sharing information freely, and even showing vulnerability. 4, empathy and people centricity. Emotional intelligence is no longer a soft skill. It's critical infrastructure. With burnout at epidemic levels, leaders are now expected to prioritize the psychological safety and mental well-being of their teams. This means actively listening, leading with compassion, and creating truly inclusive environments where everyone feels they belong. 5, purpose-driven mission. Work must have meaning. The most effective leaders are those who can consistently connect the daily tasks of their team to a larger, inspiring mission. They answer the why behind the work, giving their teams a reason to be invested beyond a paycheck. 6, tech-savvy and digital-first. Future leaders don't just use technology, they orchestrate it. They leverage AI for smarter decision-making, use collaboration platforms to foster connection and understand how to build a thriving culture in a digital-first environment. These 6 pillars aren't just a wish list. They are the new standard for effective leadership in the 21st century. 4, challenges and opportunities for the new guard. This transition, however, is not without its friction. The challenges are significant. First, there's the intergenerational clash. A recent survey found that 52% of managers feel Gen Z causes tension in the workplace due to differing attitudes and communication styles. Nearly 1 in 5 have even considered quitting because of the difficulty in managing them. Bridging this gap requires immense patience and a willingness to change from all sides. Second, leaders now face unprecedented pressure to manage the holistic well-being of their employees, fighting a constant battle against burnout. It's a massive expansion of the managerial role, often without the necessary training or support. And finally, there's the inertia of legacy systems. The old ways of working are deeply embedded in corporate culture, and changing them is like turning a battleship. But for every challenge, there is a transformative opportunity. Leaders who embrace this new model will unlock staggering levels of innovation. By empowering their teams and giving them the psychological safety to experiment and fail, they will build organizations that are more agile and creative. They will also win the war for talent. In a transparent world, the best workplace cultures are the best recruiting tools. Companies that offer flexibility, purpose, and genuine care will become magnets for the brightest minds. The biggest challenge isn't technology, it's psychology. It's unwiring decades of command and control thinking from legacy organizations. But the opportunity is immense. These new leaders aren't just building better companies, they're building a better, more sustainable model for capitalism itself. 5, training and preparing for the future. So how do we prepare for this future? Smart organizations are already investing heavily in forging their next generation of leaders. They're moving beyond traditional management training and launching leadership development programs focused on the skills that matter now: adaptive thinking, emotional intelligence, and managing multi-generational teams. They're using experiential learning and AI-powered coaching to create personalized development paths. But perhaps the most powerful tool is one of the simplest: reverse mentorship. Pioneered by companies like General Electric, these programs flip the traditional model on its head. Junior employees are paired with senior executives to mentor them on everything from new social media platforms and AI tools to emerging cultural trends. It's a brilliant two-way street. The senior leader stays relevant and gains invaluable insight into the next generation of customers and employees, and the junior employee feels valued, seen, and invested in, which is one of the most powerful retention tools a company has. It's a low-cost, high-impact strategy for bridging the generational divide. 6, conclusion of the journey. Across this series, we've explored the great generational shift that is redefining our world of work. We've examined the feedback revolution, the rise of Gen Z's voice, and the evolution of millennial management. Now we see where it's all heading. The workplace is in the midst of a profound and ultimately positive revolution. The future of leadership is no longer about age tenure or the title on your business card. It's about your ability to adapt, to connect, to empathize, and to inspire. Together, Millennials and Gen Z are not just taking charge. They are shaping a future of work that is more inclusive, more sustainable, and profoundly more human. The question is no longer if this change is coming, but how we will each respond to it. So we leave you with this. How do you envision the leader of the future? And more importantly, what have you prepared for that role, whether you're in the C-suite today or just starting your journey? Share your thoughts and expectations in the comments below. We want to hear from you. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to the GENSHIFT channel to catch our next series, where we'll be exploring the intersection of innovation and technology in the modern workplace.